Right then, it's a quick walk around video for a fabulous car. This is a Lexus IS300 hybrid and it's the top of the range Premier model. 63 plate car with just 71,000 miles on the clock. Two owners from new have kept the car absolutely superbly. It's been serviced every time by Lexus apart from the service we've just done, and that was only on time, not mileage. I think it's a total of 12 recorded services on the car. Finished in black with that lovely light leather interior. The car still looks modern in my eyes, at least anyway. Let's come around the front. Front of the car, lights and lenses, they're clear and intact. Bumper generally good, just the kind of light stone chipping you get with age, but nothing that detracts in my opinion anyway, certainly for the age of the car. Bonnet again very good, any stone chips are very light indeed. Near side of the car, lovely and smooth down the panels, can't see any obvious car park indentations. Near side front alloy, one that generally gets all of the bashing, yet for the age of the car it's actually really good. There is light curbing obviously, but as I said, I've seen many of these cars over the years and most of them far worse than that. Same applies to the rear alloy, again generally good with just some light marks on there. And the back bumper one's very clean. The offside, driver's side, again lovely and smooth down the panels, really crisp. Rear alloy, very good indeed, just very light curbing on the outside. As you expect on the offside, it's on the furthest away from the curb generally. And the same applies to the front one there as well. But for a car that's now 12 years old, it really is in lovely condition. Come to the boot area now, really good sized boot on the car, and it looks almost like it's never been used. It's just got that crispness when you look at a car that's about a year old. Let's come into the back of the car, gorgeous interior, again back seats look through, hardly have a backside sat on them, they're incredibly clean. And the same with obviously the footwell areas there. Front passenger side, you see a full set of original Lexus mats. Passenger seat again, absolutely beautiful condition. And coming in on the driver's side, footwell is again very nice. And driver's seat for a car of its age is in lovely condition, just a bit of wear on the bolsters just sliding out, but again, far better than most. So inside the car now, engine's running, so the dash is illuminated, and this is, in my opinion, one of the best interiors you're going to see in a car in its class. Sat nav, you can see working exactly as it should. Pop the car into reverse, you've got that lovely clear parking camera again, and that complements the front and rear parking sensors of course. And coming on down, just a stunning interior. Mark Levinson stereo, heated and ventilated seats. Really is a gorgeous interior, this one. And here you've got the dash binnacle, 71,692 miles. And that's the view you get when you're in eco and normal mode. Just twist the knob to the right, and then suddenly you've got that rev counter appear. I mean, it looks absolutely like it is. You know, it's obviously digital, but the graphics are incredible for the vintage of the car. But it is stunning. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key, all here and present with the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS300 hybrid, and it's the Premier model. The car's registered GL13WWM with a mileage of 71,693 recorded. The reason we do our videos, and especially this bit, the road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online looking at any of the cars we're selling, they get to see that very car in operation. We've always felt it important, purely because we know just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which you've seen advertised, which looked perfectly good in photographs or description, but only to get there and find out actually it's got an obvious fault that should manifest itself as soon as you drive the car. So that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet roads in this beautiful part of Gloucestershire, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and of course the hope is it'll be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be driving the car. So coming to the car, as you'll know from the walk-around section, it's been very, very well looked after mechanically, and it is immediately obvious as soon as you set off, because it feels as tight as a drum. Absolutely does. Push button start, press the power button, whirs into life. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third or just above, which is exactly where it's meant to be on one of these vehicles. For those that don't know, and I'm sure you all do by now, this is a self-charging hybrid. So basically, you're just going to drive it, run it, own it like a normal petrol car. And the beauty of that, of course, is you've got absolutely no range anxiety. The only range anxiety you're going to get is when you get low on fuel, stand rather smugly by the petrol station for 2 minutes, and off you go again. The beauty of it is in the engineering. I use the word advisedly in my adverts when I talk about kind of a seamless power delivery, and that's exactly how it feels. Basically, to me, it's got all the benefits of an electric car at low speeds, where it'll just whir along silently in electric mode pretty much all the time. But it also means when you manoeuvre and you pull away from junctions, or you reverse into spaces, or whatever it is, you get none of that clunkiness you get with even the best, automatic petrol cars or diesel cars. It's completely serene and quiet and smooth, so relaxing in stop-start traffic. Yet on the move, it's incredibly refined. Plenty of power, so you put your foot down and off it goes. It really is an extraordinary piece of engineering, because it's just the interaction between the way it all works. It is a miracle of engineering, actually, in the way they do it. You do have 3 modes for the driving as well. It's not complicated, it's really simple. You've got a little knob down here. Basically, it defaults to normal mode. If I twist to the left, I go into eco, so it's going to feel slightly slower, it's going to be more economical, to some degree at least anyway. Yeah, I've infrequently used it on the ones I've owned, and not for any particular reason, but I think around town it'd have a benefit. Push a button down, you go back into normal, or if I twist to the right and I go into sport mode, and you can feel a discernible difference. It's much keener to pick up and go, but literally 99% of the ones I've owned, I've driven pretty much the whole time in normal mode, and it's been perfect in that mode. The engine runs through into a CVT gearbox, which is the perfect companion for this car, because it has all of the advantages of a CVT, in the sense that because it's constantly variable, there's absolutely no steps, there's no gear change. And what can be frustrating with a conventional, even the best automatic gearboxes, when you slow around sort of 5 miles an hour, so it can't quite work out what gear to go into, and they can be a bit clunky, a bit slow to react. None of that with this, absolutely none. The one thing I will say is, please try, if you ever watch a video on one of these and see some of the road tests, it makes me weep sometimes. Sometimes I talk about it because CVTs, if you put your foot down hard, the engine revs will pick up and the car kind of catches up with it, almost like clutch slip in a manual car. It's meant to do that, it's the whole point of it, but it does so incredibly smoothly. The only time most normal human beings shove their foot down hard is if you do an overtaking manoeuvre, maybe you've gone to a slip road, and it's only for a second or two. So if I do it now, imagine there's a slip road now, foot down hard, engine revs pick up, and off I go. It hardly assaults the ears, does it? And it's, for 95% of the driving, it is infinitely smoother than any other gearbox you'll ever use. It is brilliant. I am biased, by the way, and I make that perfectly clear, but I've driven lots of cars, with conventional and even Japanese cars, the 250 version of this, which is a great car, uses a conventional gearbox, which is brilliant for what it is, but it's nothing like this in terms of how smooth it is in its transitions. Moving on to the steering chassis, obviously being rear wheel drive, it's got the advantage of not having drive shafts tugging away at the steering wheel, and that's immediately obvious because you've just got this pin sharp steering, beautifully weighted, absolutely accurate. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But the steering and the chassis work brilliantly together. The chassis gives you a very comfortable, compliant ride, very well judged for this type of car. and yet it has got an eagerness to the car which I really love. And I say in pretty much every video for an IS, I just think it hits a really lovely sweet spot for this type of car. Its natural competitors will be BMW coming down the road. There you go. So you know, BMW 3 Series, maybe a C-Class Mercedes, Audi A4. You know, the higher quality marks and the most sought after ones. The Mercedes and the Audis, fine cars in their own right, but they're a little bit one-dimensional to drive, a bit dull. They're okay, you know, they're comfortable if that's all you want. These are as comfortable as those. For most of your driving, the out-and-out sports car amongst all of the four would be the BMW M series. It still is, got no problem saying that. But this does 90% of what the BMW can do. It's that good. The flip side is, if you're not in the mood for that, this is way more comfortable for day-to-day driving than its competitor in the BMW range. It isn't as jarring as the BMW can be, and for that reason, it's personal. You know, some people would happily put up with that. That's fine, but lots of people sort of, like what I like in the car, the fact that you have got that, a really nice road and the car rewards. But when you're not in the mood, which is most of the time, it's a much more comfortable companion to be in. Worth pointing out, there's absolutely no clonks, rattles, anything for the suspension at all. As I said, it is literally tight as a drum, this car. Then come inside. This is real world build quality. 12 years down the road, a few miles on the clock, no squeaks, no rattles, beautifully bolted together cars. Also, one of the nicest places to sit. You've got a brilliant driving position with fantastically comfortable seats. They're heated and ventilated. Electrical adjustment for the steering column as well. But you just sit in there, you feel absolutely at one straight away. Driving position dead straight ahead. No sort of skew with pedals or anything like that. But all the detailing, because it's interesting to sit in here. It's not one of those cars you just get in and it's another, car that just conforms to the usual binnacle centre stack. That's it. This, when you look at it, it's for the vast majority of people, they love the interior because it's high quality, beautiful detailing on all of the switchgear, the way they operate, the precision with how they operate, but it's just how it looks. I think it's fantastic and it's wonderful to operate. Sat nav working perfectly, dual zone climate control, pumps out ice cold air. We tried that as well. You can have different temperatures side to side. You got your Mark Levinson stereo, so if you like your music, it is a brilliant sound system. As I mentioned, heated and ventilated seats. And then your dash binnacle in front, by modern standards, quite minimalist actually, but looks fantastic to the eye. Really lovely detailing again. Then you've got that lovely leather-bound steering wheel. It is a superb car for lots of reasons, but this particular example I cannot fault in any way, which is the whole point of the video, of course.